All right, this is Jeremy from Four Horsemen. Today I'm going to be showing you some more of the bad guys that are in the game. Okay, so I did part one, showed you some of the core bad guys. Now here's all the expansion bad guys. We'll see how many I can get through today. We'll show you each of them and how they work. And we'll start with some of the ones that I didn't get to last time. So for the first one I'm going to show you is Mistopheles. Mistopheles is a 9-hour game, so it's a little shorter than most. You only use level 1 relics. And Mistopheles is a Faustian demon that signs contracts for souls. So he buys your souls. When you think of signing your soul to the devil, this is the guy that you're talking about. So his special power is unholy contracts. Now, you set up the board in the normal way. So, she would start with 3 prestige, 5 zealots, 4 wisdom, 3 faith. But the catch to Mistopheles is that when you acquire new followers, you're putting them on the board, not on your board, not on your hero board. So I'm playing with Longwing and Uriel. Longwing from Chinese, Uriel from the Christians. And just as an example, let's say that Uriel is going to play her love potion for a boon. Okay, so that's normally going to kill 1 demon and add 2 zealots and then let her re-educate one of her followers into different types. So I can kill the demon from the board. I'm going to add 2 zealots, and those don't go on here. They go right here in the center. And then I can transfer. So I'm going to retrain this influencer into, say, a priest. And I can put a priest over there. So my love potion allowed me to retrain that hero. So I've got these ones here. And now when I go to the buy phase, say I'm going to buy to the hunt for relics phase. To the hunt for relics phase. I want to acquire these silver bullets. Well, I've got to have 5 zealots go out and bless these bullets or create these bullets for me in their blacksmithing workshop, and because that's the cost. And so I can take those from either on the board or on my hero board or any combination. So if I take 2 here and 3 here, I can acquire that. But note that there's no way to get more followers onto your hero board, right? Because all the followers you acquire end up going onto the world board. In order to beat Mistopheles, you have to have 1 follower in each of these zones. So, once I have all of these and I've completed the game, then Mistopheles is sealed away again. Another thing you can do is you can move followers around by using the demon move symbol. So instead of moving just demons, I can actually move followers to where they need to go, which is important because as these demons fill up these circles, they hunt down and kill your followers, right? And when you have to have the follower in the area where the demon is going to attack, or else he's going to come after you and do damage to you instead. So that's how he plays. Mistopheles likes to have all the people on the board. The theme is that, you're signing these contracts and you're going around trying to prevent people from signing their soul away to the devil. They don't know what they're doing. And so these are the people that you've saved from signing their soul away, and the demons are going to come and attack them. And you have to go to the different cities and save them, not just sit and have them follow you around the board. They don't really know Mistopheles is a bad guy, so they're signing these contracts. All right. The next bad guy let's show you is one from last time too that I talked about, which is Cthulhu. Okay, so Cthulhu is 10 hours. He's from the deep. You only play with stage 1 cards. And the goal of this one is to get rid of all of your relics. So you start, with a hand of 10 relics, right? So here's my hand of 10 relics right here. And I have to get rid of these cards. Now, you normally get rid of cards just with the sacrifice. So if I move this up, you can see that I'm putting cards on the sacrifice section, and those would be sacrificed. Use and boons generally go to your discard. However, with Cthulhu, every turn you're going to also sacrifice and not take the sacrifice effect of one of your boons or use. So this card would be gone and this card would be gone from my deck, or I could choose this card. But no matter what, your sacrifice card leaves and then one other card leaves and is out of the game. Thus, your deck is getting reduced by 1 every single time. And so at the end of the game, you have 0 cards. It's a deck destruction mechanism, I guess. And so you have to kind of plan what you're gonna do so that by the end of the game you've got a couple of cards left that you can use to to win. But that's what Cthulhu does. He just eats your cards. Okay, so that's Cthulhu. The next one I'll show you is Chaos. This is actually my son's favorite bad guy, but here's Chaos. Chaos is 13 hours and has 2 cards, the beginning and the end. And during setup, you put the beginning on the end and bottom on the bottom of the deck. So Chaos has a lot more organization to it, ironically, than some of the other ones. Now, Chaos differs depending on if you're playing 1 player or 2 player. If you're playing 1 player, each round, followers are going to change type. He converts your followers into different types. So I just roll a die 6 and a die 4, and so this would convert. I rolled a 5 and a 3. This would convert. So 1, 2, 3. This one that would convert half of these. So half of this. So 2 of them. 3 of them into wisdom. So now these ones have all become wisdom. So that's 3 from zealots to wisdom. So every round you're converting them. That's just single player. Okay. The multiplayer is a lot different. So in multiplayer, what you're going to do is hold out your cards to the person to your left, and those people have to draw one of your cards and take it to their hand. Now, if you're all playing Christian heroes, that's not that big of a deal, right? You just get a new card. But if you're playing 4 different pantheons, that means you end up with a hand of relics that you may not be able to use. And that's why it's Chaos, because you look at your hand and you're like, oh my gosh, there's like literally nothing in here I can do. And so you have to try to buy cards that are generic for everybody that you can use cooperatively as a team. A lot of fun. And then to win, you just have to have a different amount of each of your follower types. You can't have the same amount of any one type of follower. So, right here, I'd actually win because I've got 2 prestige, 0 zealots, if I could count, 7 wisdom, and 3 faith. So that would be enough to get a victory. That's Chaos. All right, so the next one let's show you is Avarice. Avarice is right here. He's got 2 cards, Greed and Theft. So you can imagine he's going to be stealing your followers and stealing your relics out of your deck. And during this, when you're fighting Avarice, you get to buy back your sacrificed relics. So normally the sacrificed relics, the relic you play to the sacrifice section of your board, is out of the game forever. But in this case, you can rebuy them. So it grows your deck because you're acquiring a relic during the hunt for relics, but you're also stealing these back from the sacrificed pile. The theme being that you're stealing them back from Avarice. He's collecting these after you sacrifice them, but you're bringing them back and restoring them. So you have to have 16 relics in your deck by the end of the game in order to beat Avarice. So that means acquiring just over half your relics back into your hand. And so yeah, that's what Avarice does. You get to acquire relics. It becomes a deck building game like a traditional one because your deck is growing each turn. Let's show Fenrir next. Fenrir is from Norse mythology. Fenrir is a giant wolf, and he has Howl and Devour as his 2 powers. He's got Rage as his abilities, and what it is he's trying to break his chains. So Fenrir was chained to a mountain by the gods, and he's very angry about it. And finally, Fenrir is breaking his chains and getting free. In order to prevent him from breaking his chains, you have to put green tokens on Fenrir equal to 5 times the number of players. So at the end of the game, you have to do that. Now, every single turn, he's going to break one of these chains to escape. Okay, and every if there are no chains on him, then he escapes and he eats your zealots. Your zealots have to go and tame him, so you have to send one of these zealots to go and fix it. And so you want to build that up, and you can put as many green ones per turn as you want on him, so you can put all of them at the end of the game if you want. But remember, you're losing. Each player is going to have to lose a zealot if you don't manage it. he's a kind of a longer game, and it really shows some of the powers of the Norse heroes, because the Norse heroes build up over time a lot, and so he's he's quite fun with the Norse. He's fun with everybody, but really he's really good with the Norse, as you can imagine, since he's a Norse villain. The next one let's do Loki next. So here's Loki. Loki is the god of mischief. He's also Norse mythology. He plays in 13 hours, and he's got 2 cards, Deception and Spell Weaving. Loki is a master of magic, and therefore you have to actually defeat him at a magic duel. And so what you do is every turn, so he's going to first manipulate your deck. So every turn you have to discard the highest level card in your hand. So if it's a stage 2, you have to discard stage 2, or stage 1 for stage 1. And if you don't have a stage 2 or stage 1, or there's a tie, you just discard a random one. So if I have 2 stage 2s in my hand, I discard a random one. Now, with one player, you're going to try to draw 7 relics into your hand. And if you're 2 or more player, you try to draw 1 bonus relic per hero, not counting any relics. So at 2 players, you're still trying to draw essentially 7. At 3 players, you're trying to draw 8. At 4 players, you're trying to draw 9 on 1 player. And you can't use your divine powers. You have to buy the cards that do it. So you're trying to do a card trick with them to show them how good you are at magic. Okay, so you defeat Loki with at the last turn, setting up your deck in a way that during the last turn you're going to pull a big card trick on him. Okay, so that's Loki. The next one I'll show you is, let's go and look at Apep. Apep is 11 hours. Apep is an Egyptian demon who hates the light. He wants to devour the sun. That's his goal. And he wants to, and because Apep spawns in the darkness, so he's got 2 powers, hypnotize. She's got 2 powers, hypnotize and consume the darkness. And the only real special thing about Apep when you play is that during setup, you're going to put out demon gates in a lot of different places. And I didn't pull these out, but I can grab them now. So there's these demon gates you're going to be putting on. And so each of these zones during setup will have a demon gate. Demon gates spawn, and not every one of these zones. It's just 1 plus everybody gets 1 where they're at. So 1 random, and then 1 for each player. Demon gates each turn will spawn new demons. So you need to kill them fast, because otherwise you get pretty overrun with demons. And so you have to clear, just to beat Apep, you have to clear all the summoning circles. So those are her children that are spawning into the world. They're ferocious, and you just want to clear the world of her nests, is what those are. Okay, so you got to clear the world of Apep's children, and then you win. The next one we'll show you is Ra. Ra's 13 hours, and he has 2 powers, Farsighted and Pyrokinesis. He's returned to Earth to extract his revenge, and to beat him, you have to put him in a pyramid. Okay, you have to build a pyramid around him. And the number of levels of the pyramid depend on the number of player count. So if you have 1 player, you're going to have to build 2 levels of the pyramid. If you have 3 players, you're going to have to build 5 levels, and 4 players, you're going to have 6. And you build those levels of the pyramid by taking a build action each turn and building 1 stage. So the first one, somebody's going to have to take 2 corruption. The second one, you have to lose 2 researchers. The third one, you have to lose 4 Zilla. So you're sending people to build the stage. And the first stage, you have to build yourself. So that's why there's 2 corruption. Now, his ability is he can manipulate flame. So anytime you play a flame relic, as shown by here, so this is Zeal, Spirit, and Destruction, so that one wouldn't count. Let's see if we can find a flame one real quick. There's Dark. Can never find them when you need them, right? Oh, here's one. So Achilles' armor has the word flame on it, right? As a keyword right here, flame. It says flame. You probably can't see that, but it shows flame. And anytime you play a flame relic, you have to lose one of your priests. One of your priests are consumed by the fire. And so if I was going to play Achilles' armor, I would lose one of my priests. Now, And that's it. That's really all it does. You have to build in ascending order, so you have to start with your base pyramid and build up to the top. So you have to build level 1 to level 2 to level 3. And so you can't just skip a level and build whatever you have resources for. So that's all you got to do to beat Ra. He's actually pretty fun because you're just trying to construct things instead of fight him directly or fight him. Let's go to Agon. So Agon is from Greek mythology, and he's one of the expansion characters. But he turns the game into a versus mode, and it's real chaos. It's pretty fun. It's a really short game. He's got one card called Spoils to the Victor that awards it. Now Agon in mythology is trying to crown a victor. He is tired of being the champion of, he wants a champion that's going to represent him in violence and destruction. And so you're competing against the other heroes in order to become that champion. So you're not, first off, you're not defeated if you're fallen. So a hero can fall and the hero's not defeated. They just keep playing like normal. And even if all heroes are fallen, he doesn't care. He just wants to see the tournament to the end. You don't lose when all the heroes are fallen. You just keep playing. Now, all heroes get to consider themselves other for relics and divine powers. So you can use your relics and divine powers together. So if Uriel, if she summoned Zaid, she can say, I'm going to sacrifice one of my priests in exchange for one general follower and put a zealot there. So you can use your powers for your own benefit, which normally you can't do. Now, whenever a card forces you to lose followers, obviously if your card forces you to lose your followers, then you have to do that. But event cards that don't specify who's going to lose a follower, you vote on it with ties being decided by the first player. However, you must choose a hero that can pay for the cost if you can. So that might be a little confusing what I just said, but let's pull out one card right here, like the Throne. Okay, so the Throne shows the Throne stage 2. If I had 3 players, would show that I have to lose 1. Man, that is really not focused, is it? -1 zealot. Okay, and so the players would say, okay, who's going to lose the zealot? And everybody, of course, will say, not me. I'm not going to lose it. And so you vote and you decide. Generally, whenever I've play tested with Agon, it's always the person with the most that they end up voting against. And so that person would lose a zealot. Now, if Uriel had no zealots, we couldn't vote for her unless nobody had zealots. In that case, that Uriel would take a corruption, but you have to vote for the person who has at least one of that type. Okay? So that's that one. And then each upkeep you can sacrifice one of your other follower types to turn it into these. Or to subtract one of these. So basically, you're sending your priests, your zealots, your researchers to sabotage another player. So I take my priest off and I go and I kill Uriel's prestige. Now the reason that's important is because the person with the most prestige wins. That person wins the game, and all the other heroes are considered defeated. Now if you're playing single player, you just have to survive, and at the end of the hour, he just subtracts some of your prestige. You have to prove yourself a champion for Agon, so you just subtract some of your prestige each time. He's pretty fun, but he does definitely change the game into a versus mentality, where at the end it's really anybody's game, and a lot of it's pretty fun. But I like it. Okay, so Set, here's another Egyptian bad guy right here. He's got Orsus' heart and Thought's brain. Set went and killed a bunch of his fellow gods in Greek mythology and Egyptian mythology. And his special thing is he's got invulnerability. And so whenever he moved, the Egyptians, and anybody can build wonders, and that he's building. So for example, here's Machu Picchu. I can put that one on. Here's the Golden Gate Bridge. And so as you build these wonders, in the Egyptians, if you're in an area without a wonder, you lose one of your followers. So Uriel right here, not in a zone with a wonder, so she'd have to lose one of her followers. Long Wing is protected because he's got the Golden Gate Bridge there. And in order to beat Set, all you have to do is construct 1 wonder per hero plus 1 wonder. So here I'd have to construct 3 wonders, right? Because I've got 2 players plus 1. So as soon as I connect, let's say, the Hanging Gardens, then I'm ready to win the game. So that is set. All right, so now the Chinese ones add the 4 evil beasts. I can't remember what they're called. They're not the divine beasts. They're the opposite. They're the cursed beasts. And so the first one you have is Qing Qi, which is one who was... he is a tiger. He likes to sow discord and create betrayal. And he plays in 11 hours. Now, what he's interesting because he kind of like Agon, he turns it a little bit into reverses because at least in order to end the game, at least one hero has to be fallen, and any fallen hero loses and all the other players win. So it's almost a one versus many type thing where you're trying to make sure that at least one person's fallen and that the rest of you can be victorious. Now, each fallen hero can move a horseman forward in order to reduce their corruption, right? So you can save yourself by moving the horseman forward. If there's no fallen heroes, then everybody loses wisdom. So it's good to have one fallen hero because he doesn't have any real negative effects. But you don't want to be that fallen hero at the end of the game. So at the end of the game, there's a mad scramble to move to try to save yourselves. But he does that. The next one I'll show you is Hun Dun. Hun Dun is blind. He hunts on confusion. He likes confusion and chaos, and he's the Chinese version of chaos, and plays in 13 hours. Now, he causes blindness in people he impacts. So instead of being able to see what you're acquiring, you actually deal the relics that you're going to be able to hunt for face down. So pretend I'm not doing my hero board, but I'm doing these face down, and I can acquire one of these. I don't know what it's going to be. I just know that I can spend either add 6 demons to the board, I can subtract 6 followers, or I can subtract 6 priests, 6 general followers, or 6 priests to have one of these cards added to my deck. So I may get a card I can't use. So for example, here I just drew Hercules Club, which is not the best, because I'm a Christian and I don't really want that. But yeah, it's just confusion. Not so bad if you're playing with all, just like chaos. Not so bad if you're playing with all the normal, straight heroes, like just the normal type heroes. But pretty bad if you're playing with a huge mix. Now Tao, he's got stubbornness and inflicts stupidity, and every turn. So there's this. The Chinese include a cursed relic deck that these cursed relics are still useful, but they're pretty bad. They're worse than a level 0 starting card. And so every time you have to reshuffle your deck, you add a cursed relic to the board. Now, cursed relics aren't all bad because they create these gurus, these teachers out there that go and... here, let me pull them out. I think I showed them when I did the unboxing video, but just in case. So here's a little guru, and these guys go right on the board. Now, any hero can sacrifice a guru to get one follower of any type if they're in that location, but you have to get at least 4 gurus per hero on the board. They're kind of bad because they take up space that could be occupied by demons. So, right here I could have been putting a demon, and so the demons will spawn further up. But they're also good because they can give you some resources. So a mixed bag. I think Tao was pretty fun. Okay, the last one is Tao Ti, and Tao Ti is a bunch of demons. You probably saw them in one of the Marvel movies because they are these dog-like things with these giant mouths, and they go and try to eat things. And they're really just pure violence. So their 2 powers are violence and decapitation. And so during upkeep, you can sacrifice as many of your priests as you want to kill as many demons. So if Uriel's over here with this one, she could sacrifice 2 of her priests to kill off these 2 demons. And yeah, that's how Tau T works. And at the end, you just have to kill off 25 demons per hero. So it's very much you're trying to kill off as many demons. Oh, sorry, I got that backwards. You're actually spawning demons for as many of these priests as you want. So you can turn your you can have your priest summon demons because what you're trying to do is kill off as many of these dog creatures you can. You're trying to thin their numbers because there's too many. So you take 2 priests off, you spawn 2 more demons. That's good because you need to kill off 25 demons per hero by the end of the game. So you need to spawn demons whenever you can so that you can kill them off. Now, I know I got a request to show the minis off better. Obviously, with the quality of my camera, look, I can try to show it here. Here's Uriel. If you can see it, you probably can't. Because of the quality of the video camera I have, I'm probably going to have to do, what I'm going to do is put pictures at the end of this video so you can see them, because I can use, it takes better pictures than it does video. So that's it for the bad guys. That wasn't too long. Hopefully you enjoyed finding out more of the different types. And now you've seen all of the different variety of the bad guys. The next video I make, I'm hoping I can get together with a couple people and do another playthrough video so you can see it. And if you mention in the comments which one you want me to see play, which of the bad guys from either of the 2 videos, that's the one we'll do. We'll show it to you and show it so you can see in more detail how it works. Thank you for watching and have a great day.